Okay. So anyway, so welcome to STEM Precalculus, Lesson 1, Conic sections, the equation of the circle. So a while ago, we had your a short description lang what precalculus is, and then what are the topics under precalculus, and now we will be starting the topic. So module 1, lesson 1 tayo. So before we start with circle, let us talk first about conic sections. Ano ba yung mga conic sections? Okay, so first and foremost pala, most essential learning competencies natin illustrated different types of conic sections and define a circle, find its general equation, and graph in center radius form. So meron tayong tatlong agenda. First, we will be talking about the four conic sections, the degenerate case of conic sections, and lastly, we will be delving into the first type of conic section, which is the circle. Ano daw ba yung conic section? Conic sections, or simply conics, are figures or non-degenerate curves formed by the intersection of a plane with a double nap right circular cone. So, napakahalaga po yung term na double nap right circular cone. Hindi pwedeng mawala kahit isa dyan. It should be double nap right circular cone. Hindi lang siya basta-basta circular cone. Hindi lang siya basta-basta cone. It's a right circular cone. So you have your two lines. Paano ba nagkakaroon ng double nap right circular cone? First, you have your two lines. The black line, mamaya ilalagay natin what part is that, and then your red line. Now, si red line, nakikita nyo dyan, iikot po yan. Okay, it will rotate around the axis. We will call this black line right here the cone axis. At pag umikot yan, magkakaroon ka ng tinatawag nating double nap right circular cone. Okay? So, this is our cone axis. And this is our circular base. Kaya siya tinawag na circular cone. And you have here your right angle. Kaya rin siya tinawag na right circular cone is because of the presence of a 90-degree angle. And then the line right here na umikot doon sa cone axis mo ay tatawag nating generator. Okay? Hindi lang naman iisa ang generator sa double nap right circular cone mo. Actually, any part of your circular cone can be a generator. Okay, as long as yun yung unang umikot. Next is, of course, your vertex. This is the point that connects your two naps. Next is your upper nap and, of course, your lower nap. And of course, since this is a double nap right circular cone, of course, it will have to extend indefinitely on both directions, up and down. Okay? So, itong nakikita nyo dito is simply a portion of your double nap right circular cone. Okay? Pero hindi pa yan lahat. It would extend infinitely in both directions. So, para mas maintindihan natin ano ba yung iba't ibang klase ng inyong conic section. So, present natin to sa GeoGebra. This is a very, very nice topic. Okay, para mas maintindihan at para mas nakikita, you're seeing my screen, right? Ayan. So, this is a cone. Ito yung cone natin. Kung nakikita niyo yung cone, so ayan siya. Alright, so also you have here, ito po nakikita nyo dito is the plane. Ito yung dahilan kaya ka nagkaroon ng conic section. Kasi by definition of a conic section, it is the intersection of a double nap right circular cone and a plane. So kapag nag-intersect daw sila nito, magkakaroon ka daw ng conic section. So punta tayo doon sa unang klase ng conic section na meron ka. The first one is actually a circle. Kailan ka magkakaroon ng circle? Magkakaroon ka ng circle if, i-adjust ko lang ha, I will be adjusting the angle of the plane that cuts the circular cone. I-adjust natin siya to a 90-degree angle. Meaning to say, perpendicular yung plane doon sa ating cone axis. Okay? So, kanina, di ba, nakita nyo doon sa illustration ko, meron tayong line in the middle of the double nap right circular cone that is acting as our cone axis. Okay? So, kung perpendicular yan, meaning to say, straight na straight, yung inyong plane sa pagkakakat niya doon sa yung conic section, dito sa yung conic, you will be having a circle. Makakabuo ka po ng circle. Okay? So, that would be exactly 90 degrees perpendicular yung cut. Yun yung term na, perpendicular. Now, what would happen naman if it's not perpendicular? Let's say, bumaba tayo 85. So, ito yung 90 degrees. Ito naman yung 85. So, 80, 70, ayan siya. So, kung makikita ninyo, habang bumababa tayo, nagbabago din yung style nung hati, nung section na naiiwan. So, kanina, it was a circle, a perfect circle, and now, it is now what you call an ellipse. Okay? Pero kung titignan nyo dito sa figure natin dito, bakit parang, ma'am, bakit putol? Bakit po dito buo yung ellipse? Kasi nga sabi ko kanina, this is simply a part of a whole infinitesimal conics, double nap right circular cone. So, still, nag-extend po yan indefinitely. So, kahit na hindi nyo nakikita, kahit na naputol siya dito, still, meron po yan. Right? Now, yan siya. And then, magbabago yan. Okay, so makikita ninyo. Yan siya. So, lumalaki yung ellipse, lumiliit lang din yung ellipse niya. Okay. So, now, what would happen naman daw if your alpha, meaning to say, kung ano yung angle ng cone ninyo, kaparehas lang din ng angle ng plane ninyo. Meaning to say, parallel yung plane doon sa ating generator. Si generator is basically yung line lang dito. Okay? So, parallel daw yan. So, nakikita nyo dito, straight na straight, parallel na parallel sila. So, ano yung mga form mo? You will form a parabola. Saka ka magkakaroon ng parabola. Yan po itsura niya. Okay? Parallel siya. So, try natin. Ayan, magbabago siya na siya ng posisyon. Ayan. So, nagkaroon naman siya ng downward parabola. Upward parabola, downward parabola. So, umakit lang siya, bumababa lang siya dyan. Okay. So, yung angle ng cone is parallel sa angle ng inyong plane. So, you will have a parabola. Now, meron ka ng circle, may ellipse ka, may parabola. Kailan ka makakagawa ng hyperbola? Hyperbola naman happens kapag yung angle ng cone mo ay mas malaki kaysa sa angle na ginagawa ng plane mo. Pero, hindi siya mag-straight to 0. So, katulad nito. So, itsura niyan, ganyan siya. Okay? Ayan. So, ito yung ating plane. So, kapag yung mga cases na ganito kasi, hindi may iwasan na mag-intersect yung plane doon sa dalawang cone mo. Okay? Doon sa dalawang nap na meron ka. So, pag nag-intersect siya doon sa parehas, makakabuo ka ng tinatawag nating hyperbola. So, ganyan ang itsura niya. Right? So, balikan lang natin. Okay. So, yan nga yung nakalagay dyan. Alright, so for a circle, ang sabi daw dito, the plane is perpendicular to the axis of the cone and intersects each generator. So, meaning to say, dumaan siya. Ito yung plane mo, ito yung double nap. Perpendicular ang keyword natin. Si parabola naman happens if the plane is tilted parallel to one generator or yung one of the nap, one of the cones, and intersects only one nap. Isa lang yun ang intersect niya. Kung nakita niyo naman kanina, kapag nakaparallel talaga siya, isa lang talaga yung pwedeng ma-intersect ng plane. Okay? Either yung lower nap or yung upper nap. Pero isa lang. Now, yung for the ellipse naman, kasi si circle is almost identical to an ellipse. It's just that it's a bit elongated. the plane is tilted slightly and intersects only one nap of the cone to form a bounded curve. So, sa case na to, kung si circle dapat daw ay perpendicular, meaning to say, 90 degree, si ellipse, pwede kang magbaba kay 90. Okay? Hindi siya aabot ng 90. Now, for the hyperbola, kung nakita nyo kanina, yung itsura ng hyperbola doon sa simulation ng conic section na pinakita ko kanina, ay hindi siya medyo parehas dito sa hyperbola na to. Okay? Kasi meron ding another nag-claim na yung plane daw ay pwede daw natin siyang patayuin katulad na nakikita nyo dito. So, nakatayo siya. Okay? And intersects both of your naps. That is why you are able to form a hyperbola. Pero doon sa conic section simulation na pinakita ko kanina, yung iyong plane ay umiikot lamang doon sa hyperbola. So, paikot lang siya actually. Nagagawa lang niya ay up and down. Okay? Ito naman, nag-left and right siya. But still, both cases naman are correct. What matters is that you understand that for a hyperbola to happen, kailangan both of the nap, si upper, saka si lower nap, ay matatamaan. Alright? Kasi kung titignan mo, si circle, yung plane mo, isa lang naman sa kanila yung pwede niyang tamaan. Si parabola, isa lang din, one at a time. Si ellipse, one at a time lang din. Pero si hyperbola, para makagawa ka ng hyperbola, dapat both of the nap ay ma-intersect nung plane mo for you to be able to get to form two unbounded curves. Now, pasok tayo dito kay degenerate conics. So, meron tayong tinatawag na degenerate conics. Degenerate conics are planes that intersect a double nap right circular cone and contains its vertex. So, paano po ito nangyayari? So, you have three degenerate conics. You have your point, you have your line, and you have a pair of intersecting lines. At sabi nga sa geometry, kapag nagkaroon ka na daw ng pair of intersecting lines or you have two lines that intersect, then we can already call it a plane. Okay? Napakita lang natin siya ulit doon sa simulation a while ago. Kung ano itsura niya. How it intersects. So, ito siya ha. Okay, so ibalik lang natin siya. So, sabi daw, paano ka makakabuo ng point? The only time that you're able to do a point is if you are up at perpendicular and you are at the center, at the vertex itself. So, doon ka daw sa pinaka-vertex. So, dito, hindi lang natin siya makita. Pero nandun ka daw sa pinaka-vertex niya. Ayan. So, there you go. You have now a point. So, doon ka na sa pinaka-vertex niya. Yun yung na-intersect mo. Meaning kasi yung nag-iisang point doon, yun yung na-intersect mo. That's why you get a point. Now, paano ka makakabuo ng line? Your line is also the same as your generator. Meaning to say, kung parehas ang angle ng cone mo at ang angle din ng plane mo, kung ang angle ng cone natin is 45, ang plane mo rin ay naka 45, it will intersect at the middle, makakabuo ka ng straight line. Okay? Ayan siya. Intersect niya yung gitna. The straight line. Now, what would happen din? Ano naman daw yung mangyayari kapag naman daw 0 degrees? So, meaning to say, nakatayo. Okay? Nakatayo daw yung plane mo while intersecting the cone. So, it cuts the cone into two similar parts like this. Okay? Magkakaroon ka ng intersecting line. And katulad ko na sabi ko, once you have two intersecting lines, then you already have the smallest condition to form a plane. Kaya po, ang two intersecting lines ay tinatawag din nating plane. Okay, lipat tayo. Balik tayo doon sa PPT. Alright. So, these are your degenerate conics. Yun po ang term natin sa kanila, degenerate conics. Kasi, ito yung mga conics that includes the vertex. So, kung nakita nyo kanina, yung point, yung plane, dumaan siya sa vertex. Si line, dumaan rin siya sa may vertex, yung plane na kanina. And also, ito rin, dumaan din siya sa mismong vertex. This happens kapag perpendicular or 90 degree yung angle ng plane at naka-straight siya doon sa vertex mo. Si line naman, yung angle daw ni cone ay similar din daw sa angle ng inyong plane, then you will also get a line. Angle of cone is equal to the angle of the plane. And then, kapag in-style mo siya in such a way na didikit siya on both of the nap. Okay? Kasi kanina, itong angle of the plane is equal to the angle of the cone ay para rin siyang definition ni parabola. Pero si parabola kasi, isa lang doon sa nap ang tatamaan mo. Either si lower nap or si upper nap. Pero kapag parehas na lower and upper nap ay tinamaan mo, magkakabuo ka ng line. And then for the intersecting lines, nakita nyo naman yung ginawa natin kanina, pinatayo natin yung plane. Tapos in-intersect natin siya. So the angle of the plane is at 0 degrees. Or simply, naka-0 siya. Okay? And that is when you will get a plane. So yun lang naman yung conics natin. So balikan ko lang, you have 4 conic sections. You have the circle, the parabola, the ellipse, and the hyperbola. And you have 3. The degenerate conics, yung point, yung line, at yung pair of intersecting lines. So, ititawagin natin plane. Now, pasok naman tayo ngayon into the first of the 4 types of conic sections. Ito talaga yung pinaka-topic natin for today. Okay, so the first one is a circle. Ano ba yung circle? Si circle, as you all know, ito yung pinakamadaling i-define. Okay? Sa lahat ng shape na meron tayo, si circle dapat ang pinakamadaling i-define para sa inyo. Bakit? Kasi ang kailangan nyo lang na word ay set of all points at yung term na equidistant. A circle is a set of all points o yung tinatawag nating locus of a point in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point called the center, and the distance from the center to any of the point is what you call the radius. Okay? Kahit saang point in the circle, isa lang po ang radius mo. And your radius should be greater than 0. It needs to be greater than 0. Since radius is also the distance saan ka nakakita ng negative na distance. Saan ka nakakita ng 0 na distance. Okay? Kapag ang R mo ay naging 0, meaning to say, you do not have a distance. Hindi gumalaw. Kung ano yung center, yun din ang point. Kung ano ang point, yun din ang center. Then, hindi na po yan circle. Magkakaroon ka na po ng tinatawag nating point. Now, what would happen if your radius is less than 0? Nagkaroon ka ng negative na value for radius. Sabi ko nga, ang radius is also your distance. So, wala naman kasing negative na distance. How would you draw a negative distance? So, in this case, magkakaroon ka ng null set. Or simply, this would be impossible to draw. So, this is not a circle. You will not be able to make a circle at all. You will not be able to graph it at all. Right? So, dapat po, ang R natin ay greater than 0. Okay? Kasi kung nakikita nyo, hindi naman yan yung kukuhanan ng absolute value. So, kailangan yung R mo talaga ay positive. Next. Okay, so let's go on to how to make the equation of the circle. So, this is also one of the easiest conic sections. So, sabi ko kanina, So you let the center C of a circle be located at a point, say, H, K. So ito yung point natin, H, K. And meron kang radius, B equal to R. And you let any point, let's say P, kanyang variable ay x, y, be any point in the circle. Then definitely, the distance from C going to P is equal to R. Okay? So in this case, gagamit lang tayo ng distance formula for us to be able to compute or to illustrate the equation of a circle. So ito yung circle natin, di ba? So distance formula. Ano ulit yung distance formula? Alalahan lang natin, square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Now, alin ng x sub 2, alin ng x sub 1, alin ng y sub 2, y sub 1. So definitely, wala siya. Definitely po, ang inyong x sub 2 ay magiging yung inyo pong point. Okay? This is x sub 2, y sub 2. This is x sub 1, y sub 1. Bakit po si point yung naka-sub 2? Kasi nga, for you to be able to make a circle, una-una, dapat meron kang center. So, si center po ang nauuna bago ka magkaroon ng radius and then point. Kaya siya dapat si sub 1. Alright? And if we try to substitute the values of x sub 2, y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 1, doon sa ating distance formula, then definitely, CP, or rather the distance from center to point, is equal to quantity, square root quantity x minus h squared plus y minus k quantity squared, which is also equal to your radius. Kasi nga, si CP is equal to R. Now, gusto natin magkaroon ng equation. So, sa equation natin, hindi natin kailangan ng square root. So, we have to cancel that by squaring both sides of the equation. So, you will be left with x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. This is now your, This is now your center radius form or hindi tawag nating standard form of the equation of the circle. Note ha, standard. Kasi from last school year napansin ko, meron pa rin mga teachers na, meron pa rin mga students rather, na hindi alam ang pinagkaiba ng general forms na standard form. Kapag po standard form, naka-equate sa constant. Okay? Kapag po general form, naka-equate sa 0. So, therefore, the graph of an equation of this form is a circle with center at h, k, and the radius is, of course, equal to r. Next natin. What if your center, instead of being h, k, ay naging equal to the origin? So, nag-move yung circle mo from a center of h, k to a center of origin. So, h is equal to 0, k is equal to 0. What would happen now to your equation? So, at best, you will have to substitute kasi meron ka ng definite value for hk, which is both 0. Then, you just have to simplify. Therefore, you will get x squared plus y squared equal to r squared. So, wala ka ng hk and the only value that you need is the value of r. Ito ngayon ang center radius form. So, the graph of an equation of this form is a circle with center at origin and radius, which is equal to r. Right. So, to summarize, ito po yung itsura ng dalawang equation na meron tayo. But of course, ang pinakamahalaga dyan, definitely is this one. Ito lang po ang dapat nyong kabisaduhin. Right? So, before we go on with the example, papakita ko lang sa inyo using Desmos. Open natin yung Desmos. So that you can see Ayan. Natin yan. And then, punta tayo dito kay conic section. So, nakikita nyo dito, we have here, using Desmos calculator, the graphing calculator of Desmos, meron tayo dito conic section, which is a circle. And then, itong kulay pula, that is the equation. So, you have x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equal to r squared. Now, what would happen to your circle kapag po nagbabago yung value ng R ninyo? Lumalaki, lumiliit lang siya. Okay? Eh, what would happen naman if the value of your H changes? Paano kung si H ang nawala? Take note ha, si H ay para kay X. Kapag daw, nagbago yung value ni H, H lang muna, wala muna tayong K, 0 si K. So, meaning to say, hindi siya aakyat, hindi siya bababa. Kasi the value of K tells you whether the graph is going upward for a bit or going downward a bit. So, kung meron ka lang value for H, it would only move from left to right. Pero, paano if you have a value for K? So, nagmo-move lang din siya up and down. Now, what would happen if both of your HK is present? So, nagmo-move lang siya on different parts of your graph. Ayan. Okay, depending on the value of HK. Okay? So, balikan natin yung ano natin. Alright. So, mag-start tayo mag-answer ng mga questions with regards to conic section circle. Madadali lang naman ito kasi all you have to do is remember, number 1, the equation. Number 2, what are the parts that are necessary for you to be able to make a circle? Meron naman tayong dalawang part. Una ay si center, pangalawa ay si radius. Yun naman yung kailangan mo eh. Kailangan meron kang center, meron kang radius. Kapag meron ka niyan parehas, then you can now make a circle. So example number 1. Determine the standard equation of the circle given the coordinates of its center and the length of its radius. Meaning to say, you already have the center, you are now given the radius. So what you have to do is substitute the given center and radius to the equation. So, balikan natin. Ano ulit yung equation natin? Our default equation would be quantity x minus h squared plus y minus k quantity squared equal to r squared. Okay? And then, next niyan ay substitute lang. Since ito yung ating h, ito yung si k, ito yung value for r, for letter A, this is simply going to be quantity x minus 2 squared plus y minus negative 3 squared equal to r squared. So that would be 3 squared. And then, simplify. So this is simply going to be x minus 2 squared plus y plus, kasi negative and then another negative, so it will become positive, squared equal to 3 times 3, that would be 9. So, ito na daw ang standard equation. Since you're looking for the standard equation, there you have it. Now, for letter B, sabi kay letter B, the center is at 1/2, 1/4. So, same thing lang din, substitute the value of H and K to the equation that you have. So, it will become x minus 1/2 squared plus y minus 1/4 squared is equal to 6 quantity squared. And after that, you just have to simplify them. So, pag sinimplify mo, hindi mo naman na kailangang isolve yan kasi looking tayo for the standard equation. X minus 1/2 quantity squared plus y minus 1/4 quantity squared equal to 36. This is now your standard equation. So that is example number 1. Punta naman tayo kay example number 2. So far, madali pa siya. Madali lang siya actually. Ayan. For example number 2, so you are given the standard form. Ang kailangan mo daw hanapin ay coordinates of the center and the radius. So looking for center, radius lang tayo. So sabi ko nga, ang form natin ay, the equation is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equal to r squared. Okay? Your center is h, k. Your radius is r, or simply the square root of r squared. Now, for letter A, x minus h. So, x minus h. So, in this case, para ka magkaroon ng value for h, then probably yan ay x minus negative 9 plus y minus 1 squared, don't forget the squared, equal to 25. Anong square root niya? That would be 5 squared. So, for your center, it would be negative 9, comma, positive 1, and for the radius, it's equal to 5. Now, for letter B, himay-himayin mo lang naman yung itsura niya. Now, ito lang nakalagay lang dito ay x squared for letter B. Therefore, we do not have a value for h. So, it's simply x minus 0 squared plus y minus 1/4 squared equal to 16 over 9. So, that would be 4/3 squared. So, for the center, h niya ay 0. Ang k niya ay positive 1/4. And the value for your radius is 4/3. And then for letter C, last na. X minus 6 squared plus y squared. So, in this case, kay letter C, yung value naman for k ang wala. X minus 6, positive 6 lang siya, squared plus y minus 0 squared equal to, paano naman to? 15. So, sabi ko nga, square root lang. So, this would be square root of 15 squared. So, the value for letter C, your center is positive 6, comma, 0. And for your radius, it would be the square root of 15. So, ganun lang po kadali kumuha ng center at radius given your standard equation. Ito yung pinakamadaling kunin sa lahat kasi nga circle pa lang tayo. You only have two things that you have to consider. Center and radius. Now, next tayo. For example number 3, you have to determine the standard form of equation of the circle defined by. So, binigyan ka daw ng equation, but this is not in standard form. Ang tawag natin sa form na to ay general form. Kasi naka-equate siya kay 0. Yun ang naman yung pinakamahalagang tignan dun eh. Now, how are we going to transform a general form of equation to a standard form of equation? Actually, all that you have to do is make it into the form of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So, from general to standard, ang pinaka-kailangan natin gawin ay completing the square. Okay? Kasi kung napapansin nyo, you have here separate x minus h squared and y minus k squared. So, ito, iko-completing the square lang din natin siya. Right? So, mag-start tayo. So first, una natin gawin ay, para mas mapadali buhay natin, first is to divide the given equation by 4 so we can reduce the equation to its general form. So pag dinivide natin itong buong equation natin by 4, then masisecure na natin yung value ni x squared na 1 lang ang numerical coefficient. So from 4x squared, magiging x squared na lang plus y squared minus x plus 6y plus 1/4 equal to 0. And then, next mong gagawin is to group all the values of x and all the values of y terms and transpose the constant to the right side of the equation. So, igugrupo daw natin lahat ng may value ng x. So, it's x squared minus x plus y squared plus 6y is equal to negative 1/4. Next, dito na tayo papasok sa completing the square of the x terms and adding it to the right side of the equation. Kasi if we do completing the square, then we need to add something on the left side. And para ma-balance yung equation natin, kailangan kung ano i-add mo sa right side, i-add mo rin sa left side and vice versa. So, pag completing the square tayo, this would be x squared minus x. The numerical coefficient is 1 divided by 2 and then square it. The answer that you will get is a positive 1/4. And itong 1/4 na to ay i-add din natin doon sa other side. Plus 1/4. Kasi nakalagay doon ay plus din. Lagay tayo ng quantity para mas madali natin matandaan. Now, for the y terms, you have here y squared plus 6y plus, completing the square, this would be 9. And since nag-add tayo ng 9 dito, we also have to add 9 on the other side. Now, next one would be, we are going to factor the left side and simplify the right side of the equation. So, pag finactor daw natin yung left side, this is going to be x minus 1/2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equal to negative 1/4 plus positive 1/4. They will cancel each other out. You will be left with 9. Now, wala ka ng ibang pwedeng gawin because this is now the standard form of your equation. So, quantity x minus 1/2 squared plus quantity y plus 3 squared equal to 9. So that is how you turn a general form into a standard form using completing the square. Next, what if naman, instead of a general form, binigyan ka daw, mali yan. Dapat daw, kukunin mo yung general ng isang standard. So in this case, all that we have to do is unravel the equation. Meaning to say, we are just going to solve it. Okay? Solve lang natin siya. So this is going to be quantity x plus 5 squared. That would be x squared plus 10x plus 25 plus y squared minus 12y plus 36 is equal to 4. And then, simply combine all the like terms. Lahat na magkakapareho terms, i-add mo lang. Constant na nasa right side, ilipat mo lang din sa left side. So, this is going to be x squared plus 10x plus 25 plus y squared minus 12y plus 36 minus 4 is equal to 0. Ito po yung isa sa pinakamahalaga sa lahat. If it's a general term, make sure that it is equated to 0. Then, simply arrange everything based on the degree of the exponent. So, x squared plus y squared first plus 10x minus 12y. And then, ito natin nakalagay dito ay positive 25 plus 36 minus 4. Then you will get a positive 57 equal to 0. Therefore, the general form of the equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 12y plus 57 equal to 0. So, ayun lang po siya. Okay? Next natin. Okay, so this is naman another example of making a circle, pero instead of the convenient center and radius, ang binigay sa'yo is simply the diameter. What if you are faced with a question that only gave you the diameter as a clue as to how to solve the equation, as to solve for the equation? Now, what are you going to do? So, sa case na to, syempre, since binigyan ka ng diameter, ano ba yung property ng diameter? Una, si diameter is what? The longest, ito daw yung longest chord ng circle mo. Meaning to say, kung ito yung longest chord, then it is simply twice the radius. And for it to become a diameter, it also should, what? Dapat daw, it should cross the center. Okay? Your diameter is simply twice the radius and should cross the center. Okay? So, meaning to say, kung ano yung center o ano yung midpoint, rather, gamitin natin yung word na midpoint. Since si Precalculus is simply an application of everything that you have learned so far. So, gagamitin at gagamitin niyo po talaga lahat na napag-aralan ninyo from your previous years. Midpoint formula, distance formula, quadratic equations, so on and so forth. So here, all that we have to do is get the midpoint. So your two points are 4, 5, and negative 2, 3. Para makuha mo daw yung midpoint, ano ba ginagawa natin para makuha yung midpoint? First, syempre i-add natin yung x values. So that would be 4 plus negative 2. And then divided by 2. Kasi middle point eh. So dapat hihati sa dalawa. This is going to be for the H sa abscissa. The ordinate naman, 5 plus 3 divided by 2. So, the midpoint now here is going to be 4 minus 2, that's 2, divided by 2, that's going to be 1, 4. So, meaning to say, the midpoint of your D and A, the points D and A, is simply 1, 4. And the midpoint is also our center by definition of diameter. Center by definition of diameter. Now, sabi, the diameter is simply twice the radius. So, anong pwede mong gawin dito? Gagamit ka ng distance formula. But for you to do a distance formula, kailangan meron kang 2 points. Ano yung 2 points na gagamitin mo? Pwede kang gumamit ng, number 1, points of the ends of the diameter. Pero, kapag pinili mo tong option na to, you still have to divide it by 2. Kasi nga, ang diameter is twice the radius. And you only looking for 1 radius. Or, you can use the distance from the center, since nakuha naman na natin yung point ng center, to 1, to any one end of the diameter. Isa ring pampadali ng buhay is if you try to graph these points. Kasi at itong ito namang mga examples na binibigay ko, lahat naman yan may definite na answer. So, meaning to say, wala naman silang decimal points. So, lahat ng sagot ay naka-whole number pa. So, if you try to graph it, then you will be able to just count kung ilang units yung pagitan nila. Anyway, so gamitin natin yung center to any one of our end of the diameter. Gamitin natin si D, 4,5. Okay? So, DC, point D to the center, that would be equal to, distance formula tayo. So, kahit saan dyan na gamitin mo, pwede mo na silang pagpalitin yung x sub 1, x sub 2, kasi i-square mo naman sila at the end. What matters is, mag-minus yung dalawang x, and then i-plus yung mga y, xy. So, 4 minus 1 squared plus 5 minus 4 squared. And then this is going to be 4 minus 1 is 3. Square it, that would be 9. Plus 5 minus 4 is 1. In the square mo, that would be 1. So DC is simply the square root of 10. Okay. Pero, ang tanong, if you go back to the question is actually asking you for the equation. Now, ang sinabi lang dito ay equation. In cases such as this, kapag equation lang yung term na nilagay, hindi siya in-specify kung standard or general, then automatically, that is pertaining to standard. Okay? Kapag equation lang po yung term na ginamit, automatically that means standard. Alright. So now here, you have here your radius. Your radius is square root of 10. That is simply r. Now, kailangan mo ng standard form. That would be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. Substitute the value that we got for the center. That's 1, 4. X minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared. And then, your radius is square root of 10. Ito, naka-squared na siya. So, that would be 10 na lang. Kasi nag-cancel out si square and the square root. Therefore, you now have your final answer. So, this is now the equation of a circle having a diameter with endpoints at D quantity 4, 5 and A quantity negative 2, 3. Now, next natin for the last example. So, this is the one last example na. So, find the equation of a circle whose center, you have one center and another point. Okay? So, hindi sa'yo binigay yung radius, but you were given a center and you were given a point. So, this is also easy kasi nga daw, kung ito si 1, 2, 1, negative 2, this is your center. Therefore, yung isang point is simply, ito lang siya. Ito isang point. Negative 2, negative 3. So, meron kang center, ang kailangan mo na lang hanapin is the radius. Meaning, the distance between the center and the point. And the only way for you to do that is to use the distance formula again. Now, in this case, kahit saan na dyan yung mag-value for x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. As long as you will follow properly the formula for the distance. So, this is going to be, again, dito, quantity, negative 2, minus 1 squared, plus negative 3, minus negative 2 squared. And then simplify. So this one is going to be the value of r. Kasi the distance between the center and the point is also equal to r. Square root of negative 2 minus 1 is going to be negative 3 squared. Ilagay lang muna natin. Plus, ito naman daw, negative 3 plus 2, that would be negative 1 squared. Simplify further, you will get na naman, ito na naman tayo. So, negative 3 squared, 10, 9 plus negative 1 squared, that's 1. So, you will get square root of 10. Right? So, now the value for radius is square root of 10. And your center is at 1, negative 2. So, all that you have to do is substitute this to the equation that we have for circle, which is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equal to r squared. Value for h is positive 1, so minus 1 lang, plus value for k is negative 2, so y minus negative 2. Mamaya natin i-simplify. And then r is negative, square root of 10. Kaso, kailangan mo pa rin niyang square. Simplify further, you will get x minus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared is equal to 10 na lang. So there you have it. Now you have the equation of a circle. Again, walang sinabi specifically kung anong class equation, be it standard or general. Therefore, we are going to assume that we have to look for the standard. Yun po ang gawa natin. Okay? Kapag walang nakalagay kung standard or general, automatic standard yan. Kasi kung ang general lang hinahanap sa'yo, then ilalagay dyan, general. Now, that's it. Kasi yung next slide natin is going to be for the module assignment. As far as I know, since wala pa naman bigay na module due to the MSCQ, so medyo limited pa rin yung access natin sa school grounds. And as far as I know, wala pa rin talagang nade-deliver na module sa school. So, anyway, since wala pa rin module sa school, so for now, I will be sending the copy of the module to our messenger group chat. Okay? Kaya po napakahalaga ng GC. Kasi most of the time, doon ako nag-update, doon ako nag-send ng mga submissions, doon ako nag-send ng link for the quizzes, doon ako nag-send ng mga reminders for assignments. So, always check your GC. Napaka-active ko po pagdating sa mga GC. Like, every week nag-update ako. Okay? So, ito po yung assignment. Paki-screenshot po. So, it's Module 1, Let's Apply, Part A only. Kasi actually, 2 parts to. You have the A, and then you have the Part B. Pero ang gagawin nyo lang is the Part A only. Na-screenshot na po ba? Paki-like na lang po ako nakapag-screenshot na. So, I can now stop sharing my screen. Ayan. Time check tayo. Right now is 11:34. So, you still have 20 more minutes. Anyway, hindi naman natin kailangan ubusin yung time na yun since I am also your last subject. So, that would mean that the rest of the time now would be asynchronous. You can now start doing your module assignment if you want. And then po, saan po namin isa-send, ma'am, yung assignment namin? Magsisend po ako sa GC ng Google Form link. Okay? Pipicturean po ninyo yung gawa ninyo. And then, i-send nyo po doon sa Google Form link. Anyway, this topic is quite easy. You only have to determine the center and the reviews. Okay? You have both standard and general form of equation. So, I hope that you know what to do. May question pa po ba? Further question, clarification, reaction regarding today's topic.